The bathroom light across the narrow apartment courtyard flickered on just as Daniel stepped onto his tiny balcony to bring in his son's forgotten toy. He looked up for only a second before realizing his new neighbor had forgotten to close her curtain while changing. Embarrassed, he instantly turned away, apologizing under his breath even though she couldn't hear him. But before he disappeared inside, he heard a calm voice call out that stopped him cold. Instead of anger or panic, she simply smiled and said, "Then take responsibility." Those 4 unexpected words shattered his peaceful evening and opened the door to a journey that would forever change 2 lonely lives. Before we continue, if you believe kindness, forgiveness, and second chances can change lives, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Kindness Space so we can continue bringing you heartfelt stories that inspire compassion. Daniel had been raising his 7-year-old son alone ever since losing his wife to a sudden illness 3 years earlier. Every day was a careful balancing act between work, school lunches, unpaid bills, bedtime stories, and silent tears that only appeared after his little boy had fallen asleep. He had learned to survive, but he had forgotten how to truly live. His apartment was clean but lifeless, filled with memories instead of laughter. Across the courtyard lived Emma, a quiet woman who had recently moved into the building after leaving behind a painful chapter of her own life. Few neighbors knew anything about her except that she always smiled politely, carried heavy grocery bags without asking for help, and spent evenings watering the flowers on her balcony. Daniel couldn't stop thinking about what she had meant by taking responsibility. The next morning he knocked on her door, expecting anger or embarrassment, but instead found warmth in her eyes. She explained that responsibility wasn't about an accidental glance. It was about recognizing when someone had witnessed another person's vulnerability. She believed that people often walked past invisible pain without noticing it, and since fate had unexpectedly crossed their paths, perhaps they could choose kindness instead of pretending they had never met. Her words stayed with Daniel long after he returned home. Over the following weeks, small acts of kindness quietly connected their lives. Emma baked cookies for Daniel's son after hearing he had won a spelling contest. Daniel fixed a leaking faucet in her kitchen without expecting anything in return. They shared coffee on rainy afternoons while their stories slowly unfolded. Daniel admitted how exhausted he felt trying to be both mother and father. Emma confessed that she had escaped a relationship where control had stolen her confidence piece by piece. Neither wanted sympathy. They simply wanted someone who listened without judgment. Daniel's son quickly grew attached to Emma because she never tried to replace anyone. She simply encouraged his curiosity, helped him care for plants, and reminded him that sadness and happiness could exist in the same heart. For the first time in years, laughter returned to Daniel's apartment. It wasn't loud or dramatic. It was gentle, healing laughter that slowly filled the empty spaces grief had left behind. Just as hope began to bloom, life tested them once again. Emma's past returned when the man she had escaped appeared unexpectedly, demanding another chance and refusing to accept that her life had moved on. Fear that she had hidden for months resurfaced overnight. Daniel watched the confident woman who had inspired him become quiet and anxious again. This time, taking responsibility meant something far greater than an awkward accident. It meant standing beside someone when walking away would have been easier. Daniel helped Emma contact legal support, accompanied her to every appointment, and reminded her that courage was not the absence of fear but the decision to keep moving despite it. His son, without fully understanding the situation, drew pictures of the 3 of them standing under a bright sun with the words, "Nobody fights alone." That simple drawing became a symbol of the family they were slowly becoming, not through blood, but through compassion.